Good evening.
Did I have a knife in Soviet prison?
We currently have a little fan action blowing because it's too fucking hot.
Oh, I
What
see
up?
that. It looks
Yeah,
it looks you know what? I'm digging it. Digging the vibe.
it's
Bob, why are you on
cinematic.
your phone? What happened?
I'm doing some troubleshooting with my friend in Houston
Kick ass.
on my computer.
Did you have a knife in Soviet prison?
I went outside to take out the trash, and Jesus Christ, whoever was outside before me or is outside currently at their balcony is smoking hella weed. I feel like I got high in the 20 meters I walked.
Please tell me
I,
it was Jesus.
Maybe?
At least tell me it was in silhouette so you're not sure. Maybe it was Jesus. You don't know.
I don't know. There was just the smell. I didn't see anyone, didn't hear anyone, so it very well could
Yeah, I've
be
been there.
Jesus.
it's that
I've
shit
been
is good.
there. I've been there. Done that.
These motherfuckers below me smoke, and it's like I had to complain to the complex on it because I was just like I don't smoke fucking weed, and
Spongy
I don't want to.
reggae. Now look,
I used to
just
go to
because we're
funky.
teetotalers nowadays, okay?
You're not a
You
teetotaler. What the fuck? You drink like a fish.
bro, I'm having a moment. We're rolling into the holidays, and then I'll stop. And I'll
Rolling
stop.
into the holidays.
I didn't drink for like almost 2 years, bro.
Sometimes I'm ready to
Look
fucking
what
just.
society has done to me. Look what it's done to me.
I'm
I don't want to be an
I'm ready to
enabler
start drinking.
here. I don't want to be an
25 and a half
enabler.
fucking years.
Bro, I don't want to be an enabler here, but if you had a beer occasionally, I don't think it would kill you.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think we would find you in the crack house. Okay. I feel like you'd be all right. You literally drink like 8 Monster energy drinks a day. I don't think a Shiner Bock would fuck you up, you know?
As
That's
somebody who
just
is
my
known to ingest
opinion. Just my
as
opinion.
somebody who is known to ingest 18 coffees a day, it could be worse.
Exactly.
It could be
I
much,
mean,
much
it
worse.
could.
Like people, especially when my mom is here or when we go somewhere where it's me and my mother, our only communication is another coffee. 20 minutes later, another.
My favorite thing culturally that you guys have going on is that whole Balkan breakfast thing, you know, with the like the
The
cigarette
coffee and the
and the
cigarette.
coffee. Yeah. Yeah. I gotta
The
be
coffee
honest
and
with y'all. I literally almost broke out my emergency can last night. I was like right on the edge.
like here, it's a
And not
staple.
not because I was stressed out or anything. I was just like, sounds kind of good. Maybe I'll break out the emergency can.
The emergency can in the fridge.
Oh my god, dude. I stare at that thing lovingly, like literally every day.
We need like one of those dead wife montages, but it's just your emergency can.
That's all it is. Yeah, right. Yeah, I know. We should do like I should like if I should rig a webcam up in there like behind the emergency can, so like 24 hours a day you can just see it, you know.
Yeah, that's pretty funny actually. People would watch that shit. That's the
I
funny thing.
literally have, okay, so we have an extra refrigerator which okay, here's the thing, okay. I think my parents bought this son of a bitch in like 1990 or something, okay? And it is consistently rolled the entire time with like no interruption, okay? I have been through like 4 other main fridges in that time period, you know?
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
I do know. Remember, you and I both used to sell fucking fridges.
I know. I got one from Lowe's for like, I got a stainless steel replacement for it that like, it like didn't exist in the store. I got it like delivered for free for like $300 for the thing.
Yeah.
And so I was like, what do you guys want for it? Because like I'll buy it right now. And so it has like a, all we do is keep drinks in it, like it, like, that kind of thing. And then like it's a side by side, it's got a freezer on the side, and like we keep like, occasionally, we'll keep ice in there, like maybe a couple frozen pizza, that kind of shit, so it's really just cost me money and electricity, but okay. But anyway, so it's got one of those in the door, the thing where you like the clear thing where you lift it up, and with the where the butter goes. Okay.
Yeah.
So I got like probably like 6 canisters of like black and white film in there. Okay. And like
Okay.
and a can of Skull. That's literally like that's the butter compartment. Like that's the whole thing. It just sits there.
I don't know. Like, I'm a young ho, as the TikTok generation would call me. Me, half of my fridge is like fridge content, and the other half is skincare. Can you cook for my son? And then it's just my 25 face masks in there. You know, my cat's pantry is better stocked
I
than my
wasn't
fridge.
actually aware of that, but I like that concept.
It's just slander. It's a bunch of, pick me ass bitter women who thought that, life would treat them better because they have youth and beauty, but those are fleeting traits and a byproduct of living. If that's your whole personality, you're fucked either way.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
right on.
they started, slandering young women, and they're like, oh, young hoes cook everything on high heat. Yeah, bitch, I'm hungry now, not tomorrow. And just a whole bunch
That's
of
pretty
other,
funny, actually.
Young
young
everything on high.
yeah, because of course I do. Young hoes cook everything in one pan. Yeah, the less dishes, the better.
Yeah.
So we're most of my friends, we're just reclaiming it because it's funny as hell. Like, what do you mean? Oh, these young hoes can't cook? They cook everything on high. Yes,
I
I do.
never used, but I mean, I don't cook like that anymore. It's literally just me and my sister. So it's like, like when do I ever like use I barely use a frying pan nowadays. It's just
All
not
this
a
talking
thing.
of cooking is making me hungry.
I
My
know, right?
mom, my mom literally, but that's like a terminology here. She says you cook like a whore because it's like, you've been whoring around all day. Your husband is coming home in 20 minutes, so you throw something together that looks complex, but
You
it
cook
really
like a
isn't.
whore.
Yeah, and because one time I had people coming over, and the house was clean, but I wanted to give a certain je ne sais quoi, as if I've been cleaning
Of
up until they
course,
arrived.
as one
So
does. Bob was je
so
ne
I
sais quoing all day.
Yes, we cleaned the living room.
That's
so
yeah.
I literally I took Windex and sprayed it on the front door and wiped it down, so you will have the Windex je ne sais quoi. So people would think I spent the entire day
Fucking
cleaning, which
great.
I
Oh my
obviously didn't.
god.
But
That's
That's funny.
amazing.
I
Yeah.
need to make
My
a whole
grandma used
cookbook.
to do she would do like because my grandma never drove. Okay, like ever, you know? And so like when we would come pick her up and like take her to the grocery store. And she would be like, yeah, give me 15 minutes and I got to take a whore bath and then we'll go, And I'm just like, what? Grandma, what?
Yeah, wash your coat and tails.
Yeah, just say, yeah, it's like, yeah, you just watch the important parts and like, yeah, you skip everything else. So, yeah, I was like, what? Yeah, you just take a wash rag and just hit the high points. I'm like, Jesus, Grandma. The fuck?
One of my friends, she told me, she was coming to my apartment one day and she's coming from like the road so she can see a little bit of it. And with me, it's red lights, a lot of leopard visible from the outside. And she's like,
Sure.
your place kind of looks like a cat house. And I'm like, yeah, I have 2 cats. Little did I know it meant a brothel.
Oh shit, that's what you are. Roxanne.
Put on the red light.
Boom, 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 boom.
Also, a little bit of Balkan linguistical lore, if you will. You know how you say in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of buttfuck nowhere? Here we have even more fascinating terms. One is where wolves fuck and behind God's balls.
Wait, hold on.
Jesus.
Where wolves fuck?
Vukojebina.
Oh my god! And how do you do that again? How do you say it in Bosnian?
Vukojebina.
Well, that sounds like we'll clean up now.
That's our shirt, bro. That's it. We finally found it. Where wolves fuck.
And behind God's balls.
Behind God's balls. We say a very popular one when Bob and I were coming up was bumfuck Egypt.
Yes, that is like bumfuck Egypt.
Yeah. So if you're like where in the fuck is that? And it's like yeah, out in bumfuck Egypt. And it's like what?
Here
Why?
The language is very poetic here, but yes, where wolves fuck is literally slang for it's in the middle of nowhere.
That's
Vukojebina.
amazing. Where wolves
And
fuck.
also, Nobel Prize winning writer, I should say. He has a term, I just wish I could use it more in my day-to-day life and day-to-day speech. It is easy to strike nettles with somebody else's dick. In English, it's diluted, but in Bosnian, it packs such a punch. Me and my mom say it at every chance we get. We love it
It's
so much.
easy to strike nettles with somebody else's dick.
Yes.
Amazing.
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 We have so much of that. And here, like, whenever the language is, like I said, complex, but also very, very simple. Here, whenever you're annoyed, like people are like, oh, where is such and such? Where is this and that? It's in my pocket. Or where should I put this? On the top of my head. It's very expressive. It's very,
Right.
There's a lot of interesting terminology. I'm trying to think of some.
We have a thing where like if you go like we, like, well, we thought this, and like the other person will go, we you got a mouse in your pocket, like in other words, like not to separate it, like I'm not part of this, who is this we
or
shit?
That's me though. Like I use the royal we whenever I'm addressing my cats as like an attempt to seem
the
kinder.
Royal we, man. Yeah.
Yes, it's the royal we.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Cecilia, we do not chew cables, to imply that I'm also nibbling at the fucking Wi-Fi cables. But it's the royal we.
I totally understand that. Trust me.
We get that one.
My new fucking cat is like
Shakira
all over everything.
Together forever. But yeah, Shakira the cat. I know.
Of course, she's all over everything.
Oh. We started Tammy called her the other night, and this was funny. She said, "Little Tupac Shakira," and I'm like, "That cat's fucking gangster." And I'm like, "How about Tupac Shakira? Because she's gangster as hell, Some funny shit.
We were Rachel and I did a stream last night, and she called it oh goddamn, what did she call it? It's like a somebody asked Tupac about John Lennon or John Legend, and hold on, I'm not up on my Tupac lore. I'm just catching up, but yeah, it's something about like what Tupac's or with what John Legend said about some shit, and he goes, and so Kanye goes, I ain't like John Legend. He goes, I ain't tight sweater, good speller. And I was just like, what? Tight sweater, good speller. And I was just like, all right, that's maybe like my new favorite thing now, you know? Because when you think of John Legend versus Tupac, you're like, oh yeah, that dude would be wearing like a fucking sweater and like know how to spell. Yeah, I got it.
John Legend is literally the human version of that cartoon creature called Arthur. I don't know what the hell Arthur is supposed to be, but
No,
same vibe.
I know what you're talking
Same
about.
vibe.
Author. I don't know author.
Yeah, it's a fucking cartoon, man. Hold on. I gotta look at it because like
they have the same face, the same vibe, the same everything.
yeah, it makes you think Dudley Moore, but it's not Dudley Moore.
Hold on.
Dudley Moore.
And
I like
also
Dudley Moore.
Caillou for some reason.
Arthur cartoon.
Also, I'm loving this.
Yeah. All right. Hold on, Mom. I got you, bro. Yeah, I forgot about this shit. Look.
Oh my God. Okay. I know who he is.
That's the
That's
fucking
funny.
best, man. Arthur. That was some Nickelodeon shit, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was Nickelodeon, I think.
PBS Kids, I think, is what. All right.
Nickelodeon, whatever.
Arthur.
Same shit.
TV series.
Today I saw a guy who literally looked like
it's
the
a
human
PBS
version
thing.
of Chicken Little, and I'm still not over it. Hi, Rachel.
Rachel, I was just telling everybody about Hey, what's up? I was just telling everybody about tight sweater, good speller. She's over there fucking watching UFC. Which is like, which tracks? Yeah, that was funny last night, man. She's just like, fuck it, let's go live. And I was like, fuck it, let's go live. I did a whole thing like I was pitching her a movie, like and it's totally like a Hallmark movie. Like I just made up Hallmark movies. It was a good bit.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't
like,
think I've ever seen a single Hallmark movie.
I mean, you're familiar with the concept, though, right?
Yeah, because it's very memeable, and I've seen a lot of people discuss it.
Like I was like, okay. I go, there's so there's like a high-powered professional lady from the city, and she has to go to the small town. Yeah, which that's every goddamn one of those, At Christmas time, and the town survives because there's because of windmills and chlorofluorocarbons. It's the only place where there's still a working gingerbread mine. We were both drunk, and we're just like, I had to think about that one for a second. Do they mine gingerbread? And I was like, I know. Anyway.
That's a fucking gingerbread.
No, yeah. It's a fucking good shit going on. It's fucking, hold on, I still have the notes. And yeah, so I was like, so they got, it's a working gingerbread mine, And I pitched the whole thing. I was like, nobody's ever made a movie like this before. Like I just pitched it like it's a Hallmark.
Gingerbread mine.
It's obviously a Hallmark thing, And it's like, It's like, but like they don't have any reindeers in this town and it's Christmas, but like they have a bunch of goats because like the goats used to like pull the
Pull the
carts out of the
cards in the
gingerbread
mine.
mine, right? And I'm like, so the goats get into the mine and like they're all into ginger, and I'm like, the goats are all like infused with like gingerbread, like they're squirting out gingerbread tasting milk and like they're making gingerbread candles out of it, and I'm like it's like literally anything you can get out of a Bed Bath Beyond in 1996.
The closest thing that I've ever watched to like a Hallmark movie is Love Actually. The
All
closest.
right, that
And I will,
tracks. That tracks.
and I
Yeah.
and I
Yeah,
don't think I will ever get closer to it.
And
yeah,
so I was like, and I'm gonna call it Francesca, Sense, and Merv, and, and,
Francesca,
sen-
Simp, and Merv.
and sensibility. A delicious Christmas miracle. Wait,
That would just fucking
hold on.
actually work.
There's a hold on. Let me see if I can pull this up. This was a pretty good meme, which was actually real. Yeah, okay. So here you go. All right. So somebody like before AI was a thing, somebody fed like all the Hallmark movies into like AI. And this was like 10 years ago, almost. And they were like, hey, write a Hallmark movie. All right. So let me blow it up where I can fucking this because this shit's still fucking gold. Yeah, here we go. I made it. Hold on, I made it too big. All right. So, yeah. So this is it. All right. Interior, small town, snow globe refillery. We see a single mother refilling snow globes with Christmas juice. She is a widow. Her husband died in every war. Single mother. I refill globes better than Jesus Claus.
Oh my God.
Yet still my twins are dad free. Why? They need double dad. Businessman enters the shop. He wears clothes that cost money. His hands are briefcases. And he's a Hallmark bot. He's Hallmark hot. Okay. Single mother. All right. Hi. Do your snow globes lack wet? Hurry. Christmas attacks soon. Businessman has flashbacks to when he was business boy. A Christmas tree explodes his family on purpose. He now hates trees and Christmas and explosions. He exits the flashback. Businessman Shut your sound. I am from huge city. I bought your land and am turning it into an oil resort. Single mother. Rude behavior. This is a family business. I sell families. I am widow. My husband.
Rude behavior. I sell families.
My husband is now Bones.
Oh my god.
So good. Single mother points to her husband's bones in the corner of the room. They are all gift wrapped in eggnog.
Oh my god.
Businessman, all of my wives are bones. That is America. But I must make money for my twins to live. They are a prince. Single mother. I too own twins. Please don't have bought my land. Christmas is today.
That's really fucking funny, dude. Holy shit.
And supposedly AI wrote this, dude, back in the day. I don't know if that's
That sounds like a
legit.
Chinese fucking
But
AI.
I cannot imagine, like
I
I
have
can't imagine
one.
somebody actually writing this, you know? Laugh.
That sounds
I
like
have
Chinese AI.
Yeah. Businessman, laugh. I bought Christmas, now it is never, unless we go on dates.
That's funny. Holy shit.
Single mother. I cannot date because of a snow curse. I pray Santa helps me. Santa cannot help. She did not know, but Santa was her husband. Santa is Bones. Bones help nobody.
I
Oh
have
my
one from
god.
like way back in the day where somebody forced a bot to watch like every Batman movie, TV show, whatever there was
Yeah,
available.
that's what this is too. It's
I
so fucking good.
I drink bats just like a bat would. I have it pulled up. Hold on, it's short. International Traditional Bat Cave. Batman stands next to his Batmobile and uses his Bat computer. He's sometimes Bruce Wayne, sometimes Batman, all-time orphan.
All time
Batman, this is now a safe city. I have punched a penguin into prison. Alfred, Batman's loyal battler, carries a tray of Goth ham. Eat a dinner, Mattress Wayne. An explosion explodes. The Joker and Two-Face enter the cave. Joker is a clown, but insane. Two-Face is a man, but attorney. Batman, with his Two-Face and One Face, they hate me for being a bat. Batman throws Alfred at Two-Face. Two-Face flips Alfred like a coin. Alfred lands heads up, which means Two-Face goes home.
Oh my
Batman,
god.
it is just you and I, the Joker. Bat versus clown, moral enemies. Bat, the Joker, I am such a freak. Society is bad. You drink water, I drink anarchy.
You
Batman,
drink water, I drink anarchy? Is that what he said?
Batman. Yeah,
That's fucking
Batman,
great.
I drink bats just like a bat would. Batman looks around for his parents, but they are still dead. This makes him have anger. He fires a bat rocket. The Joker deflects it with his sixth sense of humor, a clowny power. The Joker, I have never followed a rule. That is my rule. Do you follow? I don't. Batman, Alfred give birth to Robin. Alfred begins the process since it is his job. Jesus Christ. The Joker now has a present in his hands. The Joker juggles it over to Batman. The Joker, happy birthday, Birthman. Batman opens the present since he's a good guy. It contains a coupon for new parents, but it's expired. This is a Joker joke.
Oh my god, it's a coupon for new parents.
But it's expired.
Fucking great, man.
I still think of that guy. You know, somebody asked like if you could sleep with any superhero and gain their powers as a result, who would you sleep with? And this guy didn't even bat an eye. He just said Batman. Batman doesn't even have powers. You do it for the
know,
love
right?
of the game.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah, fuck it. He doesn't have powers, but he's a billionaire. Yeah.
That counts for something.
That cat's got to count for something.
It'd be worse if it was the Punisher. To be
Yeah,
fair.
I said that to both of you guys because that shit's fucking gold, man. But like, you know, that shit was funny back then, you know, because we were like,
Yeah.
we're like, okay, somebody fed like all this bullshit into AI and like told it to like write a Hallmark movie. But it's like, I am buying land and turning into oil resort.
Do your snow globes lack wet? You know what it reminds me of in the best way possible? The Monty Python films.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, that's it.
It's
That's
very,
good,
it's
actually.
very
Yeah.
Monty Python coated.
Oh,
Very much. I
oh my
sometimes, you know,
god!
I
I still got tears in my eyes. Like, Jesus,
I-
this shit's funny.
I would too, but I think my forehead is fried off. You know those like eye patches?
I literally sent that to like all my like friends that like like wanted to be Hallmark, like wanted to like get their books turned into Hallmark. And they're like, I don't get it. I don't think that's funny. I'm like, it's fucking
It's
funny.
hilarious. It's
Because y'all
hilarious.
keep writing. Because God bless y'all, y'all keep writing the same goddamn book over and over and over again.
Pretty much. You know, it's the fucking feeding shit into the AI bot to come up with the script, Monty Python. And the thing is, I will forget every single bit of every Monty Python movie. The only thing that sticks is the knights who say "me." They haunt me.
There's something so classic about that one, you know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I mean, like, not that they're not all funny, but like Holy Grail is just like that shit. Just it's genius, and it never gets old.
It's a
Is it
classic.
an African swallow or a European swallow?
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, I don't know. What's your favorite color? Black, no blue. Ah! The
No,
holy
move
hand
before I
grenade
clear
of
my nose
Antioch.
from your general.
It's just because it's just so absurd and ridiculous. That's why it is so goddamn funny. You know? I don't know, man. Yeah, right? When they're like, yeah.
I'm King Arthur.
Bring
We're
out
here
your
to find the
dad.
Holy Grail.
I need to get all that shit. I guarantee you there's got to be a box set that has all that shit on it.
Dude, you know, Life of Brian. That was a funny fucking movie, too.
Piss Boy! Remember History of the World? Yeah. Or was that, wait,
Takamata.
or is that
Because
Mel
you can't
Gibson?
talk them out of anything.
Is that Mel Brooks? Like
Mel Brooks.
Yeah. Still classic. He's like a piss boy. Biggest
History of the
thickest.
world.
Biggest thickest.
Biggest dickest.
And his
Yeah,
wife,
piss boy.
Incontinentia.
Yeah, right. That shit was like so goddamn funny, you know?
I
Yeah,
watched that as a kid. And the thing is, I didn't speak proper English at all. And I was just trying to piece it together. And I remember my dad was laughing. He was cackling. And I thought he was unintelligent, bless his heart. Turns out he spoke a language I didn't speak.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, like, it's not like it's so fucking funny. And like, when's the last time that like they put out like a comedy that was like hilarious? You know, they're just it's like they're scared to offend people now. It's so fucked up.
yeah, I agree. I mean, they don't want. I want a comedy that's funny, not a political satire. I'm sick of like you throw four funny comedians in there and then it becomes political, and you're like, that's not funny at all. You know?
We have a couple of good ones that manage to dodge all of that stuff, but it's mostly in like Serbian, Bosnian, Croatian, whatever
Yeah,
language you want to call it.
and you've sent me some of those guys, and they're you know from
But
the parts
translation,
the
the
translation shit,
translations don't do
it
them
was
justice.
funny, but it was
Yeah,
still
but it doesn't do
funny.
it justice.
I'm sure it doesn't. Yeah,
Yeah, it really
I mean,
doesn't.
I agree with you, but it's just like we're so afraid. Like nobody cared. Everybody laughed their asses off at that shit, you know, because like everybody, it's like everybody's getting fucked with. Nobody got offended, you know.
Yeah.
And now it's just like I don't even know if they make comedies anymore. I can't remember the last time one came out.
The thing is,
Scary Movie like 5 or whatever the fuck it was, 6.
that doesn't count to me. No, honestly, like
To me, it doesn't either. Yeah.
A lot of the modern comedies that I've seen or, seen the trailer for, it just feels like the cheapest sort of wit where, oh, I'm so silly, I'm so quirky, and that's the joke. It feels like, it genuinely feels like an insult to my intellect, and I'm not saying that I'm fucking Albert Einstein over here, but it's just, the bar is so low.
I know what you
It's
mean, though,
mostly
and
just toilet humor.
and I don't think you're. Yeah, it's like I want to see more than like fart jokes. Okay, you know.
Yeah.
Which was always kind of my problem with Jim Carrey. Like, I don't really think Jim Carrey's that fucking funny. That all that like Pet Detective and all that shit. Like, I never got into that shit. I was like, that's not. Okay, you're acting weird out, talking out of your asshole or whatever you're doing. You know, it's just like, okay. But Jim Carrey's awesome. Like the Truman Show is awesome. That one where he's like, where he plays Andy Kaufman. It's fucking awesome. You know.
I got scarred for life by the cable guy, but in terms of like comedy and stand-up comedy, the funniest two people that I've ever seen, and I think their whole specials are even out on YouTube. Robin Williams is so hilarious in like a stand-up setting. For
Back
me,
in the day when he was doing stand-up and he was out of his mind on coke. I hate to throw the coke in there, but like he was really fucking funny.
And also Rowan Atkinson, because the thing is,
Rowan Atkinson is pretty funny. Yeah.
It's Mr. Bean. Like he doesn't even say anything. He just walks out on stage, and people are pissing themselves with laughter because it's Mr. Bean. But the humor element of it, I forever will have the picture of him as Toby the Devil ingrained into my skull, where he's in like that purple bathrobe, dressed all fancy,
for real,
like
right?
like a smoking in a smoking coat. It's just hilarious.
Like when we
but in
were
terms
like,
of stand up, a lot of it is
us,
lost.
like for me and Bob's, like I mean, when Eddie Murphy put those 2 specials out, like everybody lost their fucking minds. They were that fucking good too. You know, I mean,
They were
what was it like? What were they called?
Raw and Delirious.
Delirious. Yeah, that's the one I couldn't remember. But I mean, that was, but that was like that all. But like we used to listen, our parents listened to like Richard Pryor and like George Carlin and shit, you know. And so
we listened to a lot of Carlin in college.
Yeah, for sure, man.
I've watched.
I
have his whole discography somewhere on tape. And
yeah,
the thing is,
for sure.
I think my dad taped over his wedding video with the George Carlin special.
To put George, that's fucking great. To put George Carlin on there.
Priorities.
That's awesome.
It was either their wedding or my first birthday. I cannot remember.
God bless you.
It was one of the other.
But like, I mean, it's George Carlin, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
we watched the fuck out of Carlin in college.
Oh my god. I remember that, like, I recorded some shit and like my old man had like recorded Caddyshack off a TV, you know, and like I don't remember what I recorded over it, you know, back in the day, oh my god, dude, I didn't think he was ever gonna speak to me again. Like, I had to go out and like buy him a fucking copy of like, you know. I'm like, here, motherfucker, now, and it's uncut too, you know.
Yeah.
This ain't some shit off of fucking CBS. Like, all, you know, all the good shit's in here too. Yeah.
We have this fascination with telenovelas. It's huge, and there was this.
I think it's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, we are upset. I mean, now it's more like Turkish soap operas, but back in the day, like when I was really, really little, it was telenovelas. And there was this one really popular one with like Esmeralda, who was supposedly blind, but you know, the character is not the actual actress, but people in Bosnia, I guess, didn't make that distinction. And they were starting to like collect money for the surgery so Esmeralda
That's
could
awesome.
see.
Yeah, to get their eyes on that?
And then
that's great.
And then the actress visited. You should just Google Esmeralda visiting Sarajevo to see what kind of mayhem.
It wasn't like rolling around with like one of those daredevil canes, like banging on the sidewalk and shit. Yeah,
just like, Google
wait
it.
A minute.
It was ridiculous.
Hold on a minute.
I sent you that video of that pop star arriving with helicopter. Like, it was worse than that. It was worse than that.
It's fucking great. Have you guys ever seen? You know that the novelist Doris Lessing. Do you guys? You know, she's kind of famous, but also kind of obscure. And like, she was probably like 80 at the time, you know. So you know, like, she was up there, you know. And so, she won like the Nobel Prize for Literature or something, you know? And the video's great. And like, so
I love that video.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, where she's like, she rolls up and like, her and her husband roll up in like one of those fucking English fucking taxis, you know, and like she makes all the reporters like bring her fucking groceries in, you know, they're already at her house, like waiting for her to get, you know, and like she's like, yeah, I've won all the awards, you know, and like she makes them carry all her groceries inside the house.
I love that video.
She just does not give a fuck, you know.
I love that
She's
video.
like, yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, here, help me and my old ass husband carry our fucking groceries in.
They're like, ma'am, you won the Nobel Peace Prize, and she's just there like.
Yeah, it's just like, oh goddamn, I got to deal with this now. That's literally your attitude, you know. It's just like, oh fuck, motherfuckers are gonna be hanging out on my lawn for like a week, you know. Yeah, it's so fucking good.
Sorry guys, I'm having to have me some queso and chips.
Damn, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Got it from Fuzzy Tacos this morning.
That's fucking Texas as it gets right there.
Yep. Had that shit Ubered to my house. God damn, I just walked outside. It is still
So
just
hot.
fucking cooking.
Yeah, while I was waiting for the internet and my fucking power to like get square, like I took the dogs outside, and like I was like, how is it still hot? It's ridiculous.
I'm just ready for the rain to hit. Ready for some
I
damn
don't think it's
rain.
gonna rain here anytime soon. I've had like a blanket up on my balcony for the past 10 days attempting to block out the heat.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah.
It doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work. I've got in my bedroom, I literally I've got one of those industrial fucking staple guns, and like I stapled fucking one of those moving blankets over it, because I was just like, fuck it,
Yeah.
It's so ridiculously hot. I freeze my pillow I put it in the freezer.
Yeah, it's insane. And I mean, Bob and I grew up with that and have lived through it our whole lives, but like I feel that's like the heat's starting to get out of control in Europe, right? Like it's getting crazy over there. Is it like a new thing or? Because like all I do is see videos of people who are in like England and shit, just like bitching.
Yeah, I mean for the English, it's relatively new. Here, it's been brewing up for like the past decade. The thing that we have an issue with is all of Europe is on fire. Like there's fires in Croatia. There was a fire not far away from where I'm at.
Shit, really?
Yeah, there's a lot of fires, and the thing is, a lot of them, not all of them, but a couple of them, it's people got arrested for purposely starting fires. So, there's
they
been
did
a
that
lot
shit
of that
around here.
going on.
That's like fucking bro. Like they set that fire in LA and like burned the Pacific Palisades up like what, like 2 years ago at this point?
Those were directed energy weapons. They were targeting motherfuckers with that.
I don't know if that's true, but that would be funny. But like, I think they found some homeless guy that like set that shit, right?
Okay, so riddle me this: and out of those Palisade fires, if it was a fire, it would move this way and burn everything, but there would be a house not burned, then a house burned, but the roof would be a different color, and so that's where they would shoot a fucking house with a DEE directed energy weapon, right? DW, and the blue roof wouldn't be hit because it was okay, but the person next door. I mean, how can you explain a house not burning when everything else around it burns?
Some of those, all right, look, being somebody who's lived out there, the amount of cash that is rolling in the Pacific Palisades, we don't have concept of that kind of wealth, okay? Some of those people had private firefighters like on their property, so yeah, it's that kind of thing, because you're talking about like some shit that like Bob for us would be like maybe it's $500,000, maybe it's $1 million. In the Pacific Palisades, you're talking like a fucking $30 million house, so yeah, so they had like private firefighters and shit out there.
Okay.
That would be cool though if like they were actually like, well, I mean it's horrible because of that, but like, do we have that? I don't know.
Oh yeah, we have that. Yeah, we do. We do have that.
Know. My photography professor in was this guy named Dr. Roach, and like Roach was cool as fuck, dude. And yeah, I know, yeah, tragic name, but so and like this was like back in the day when like shit like Adobe Premiere and all that shit was new. and like we were doing like really rough like special effects and shit on those computers, and like for like a couple of seconds of video, that shit might have to render like all fucking night, before it was ready. And on those fucking Macs, and so we're up there one night, and like Roach rolls in at like, he comes in at like, because like the good computers were right there, like they were kind of in his office, and he would like give us the key and like let us hang out up there all night, like edit and fucking fuck around. And so Roach rolls in there like at one morning at like 4:00 in the morning. And he starts telling us fucking stories from fucking Vietnam, dude. And we're like, Roach, what are you doing up here at like 4:00 in the morning, man? And he's like, boys, some nights I just don't sleep good, And like he was telling us that like, and this is like during Vietnam, that they had an array built on the bottom of one of these fucking high-flying planes.
Mm-hmm.
That like, and they're still shooting film, okay? They could fly this fucking plane over the jungle, and the flash was so fast and so bright that like humans couldn't perceive it. Like you would be like you'd be Viet Cong in the jungle and be like, you get that like, okay, something weird just happened. Like they could do that then,
Mm-hmm.
It was nuts, bro. And I was just like,
I mean, the SR-71 Blackbird could fucking do that.
And we made that point, and he was like, "Oh, that's not even what I'm talking." He's like, "We've got all kinds of shit you don't know about," and he was telling us this shit in the 90s, and he's talking about shit that's going on in like fucking 1969, 1970.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy, dude. When you think about it.
We invaded fucking Venezuela and turned off all their shit.
Who was just talking about? I was just watching, maybe it was Tucker. I was just watching a podcast where they were talking about that shit. And I was like, holy shit. They're like, oh yeah, we used like, they used those fucking, you remember when the Havana syndrome? They were talking about that shit, and they were like, it was like, that shit's not real. They use that fucking sound weapon shit, and it basically makes you fucking so nauseous that you just collapse,
Yep. Oh, yeah.
And they just roll in there and fuck shit up.
They rolled in, they shut off. The Venezuelans had all the best equipment from Russia. And they shut that shit off like pulling a plug out of a light bulb.
I know, it's insane.
Just rolled in there and just did that shit and like, okay, you're done.
It's great. Or maybe it was Rogan. It's probably Rogan that was talking about it. And yeah, because like the two of them, they've been talking to that dude like Sean Ryan, who's actually he's got a good pod if you've never listened to it. But yeah, I was talking about like, like they basically like hit that. I guess this dude was like up in a high rise, surrounded by security, and thought he was like cool. And they just fucking zapped that shit and like dropped in there, grabbed his ass up, and we're gone.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, holy fucking minute. Yeah, I mean, and like nothing. We're just like, yeah. They just zapped that shit. All those dudes fucking fell out. They grabbed his ass and they were out. Yep. It's that is crazy shit to me. That like, because if they're doing shit like that now, then think about what they had like 10, 20 years ago to lead up to that, and like what are they already working on that they're going to have like 5, 10, 15 years from now? That's nuts, dude.
That's why, if you listen to a lot of these military podcasts, it's like you don't fuck with the United States.
No, you do not.
Anything that you thought of, they have and surpassed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
20, 30 years ahead of.
It's really crazy, man. It's like, yeah, they were just like, look, man, everything's going to be like AI controlled drone shit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because like they've got like big drones now, you know, that are the size of like fucking fighter jets.
I mean, you've seen the creepy ass minotaur looking robot that's meant to go into
Oh
fire.
my god! Yeah,
axe.
Are you talking about the thing that looks like a fucking horse that China made?
Yeah, the horse goat, like
Bob,
body of a horse, head of a goat.
Hold on, bro. Dude, I was like, what the fuck? What are we doing? Yeah, all those robot dogs and shit, like we're cooked, bro. As the kids like to say. All right, China robot horse. Yeah, here you go, Bob. Look at this shit.
Wow.
Yeah, they're like now they're making like these robot horses.
I meant
which
the
are
other
basically
one.
like little tanks. Yeah.
I meant the other one where it's like the goat head with the axe.
Oh no, yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's all right. Robot.
You know,
Goat head
we're the only country in the 80s with an F-15 Eagle that has a 101 to kill ratio that shot a fucking satellite.
Look at this
down.
shit. Look at this shit, bro. This motherfucker is walking around. This is like a robot minotaur with a goat head rolling around with a fucking chainsaw. It's on the chainsaw.
That's wild.
I mean, like, what the fuck? This is like Spider-Man villain shit, bro. That's fucked up, dude. And I say that because Spider-Man was always like, I hate fighting robots. Like, we're building that shit, you know?
Yeah,
like, what are you supposed to do? You got like you got like a herd of those son of a bitches running at your ass. What are you supposed to do? You're dead. Like there's no like what are you gonna do? You know?
Yeah, I don't know. Have bigger guns.
And supposedly it was built to fight wildfires. It's like, okay.
Yeah, that looks like a wildfire.
Yeah, that's why it's carrying a chainsaw. It's
right. If that shit approached me with wildfire, I'd walk into the flames.
I know, right? You'd be like, okay, do I take my chances with the fire, or like do I go up against that thing with the chainsaw? You know?
Fire wins every time.
Yeah, I would just be like, yeah, fuck it.
All right, brother. I'm gonna have to get off.
You out?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've
Hit me
learned
up.
about we've learned about oil resorts and like killer robots and like all kinds of cool shit. You know,
We've
I
learned
mean,
about a lot of shit this
yeah, a
episode.
lot of shit, man. I mean, you know, these are two powerful episodes back to back for sure.
So we're
Right.
tackling one
Anna
episode
Maria
at
has a
a time.
whole new look going on. Like, I mean, like the world is healing, is what I'm trying to say. You
The
know,
world is healing.
the world is healing, 100%.
I like that.
It is. It's true. It's true.
All right.
It's like Bob Marley used to say, man. Everything gonna be all right.
Everything
All right.
that reminds me of Meet Joe Black. Ah, man. Mom, you're too irie. It's okay, man.
Yeah, okay,
The
man.
devil.
I got
You watched
16.
that.
I got 16 job, man. Yeah, no, I've seen it. It's a good
Meet Joe
movie.
Black.
I almost
Good
bought a
movie.
copy. I almost bought a copy the other day, but it was full of mold, so I had to.
Yeah,
Had to
you
roll
couldn't
on.
pay full price.
No, just I'm not gonna clean mold out of the VHS, dude. It's not worth it. For 50 cents,
Yeah.
I'll just wait and like get another one. You know, is a
Yeah.
Joe Black is a double VHS, by the way. Just throwing that out there. It's a premium.
Yeah.
2 tapes. So there you go.
2 tapes.
It's 2 tape.
That's so
It's one of
funny.
them. It's one of them 2 tape jobs. That used to be a thing. Be 2 tapes. All right, Bob. Keep it real, man.
I will, brother. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, late.
All right. Peace.
Out.
Bye.
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 Damn.
Damn.
Yeah. Shit used to be on 2 tapes. It was long. They'd split it into 2 tapes.
We have a couple of those at home. I don't know what they are. It's Falcon movies, obviously. I haven't seen a lot of them. But, you know, we have a lot of tapes at home. Like, somebody should look
I
at those.
think they kind of did it for like cred back in the day, you know, and they're like, hey, we can charge a couple bucks more for this because it's 2 tapes, you know, because it was like Titanic was 2 tapes, you know, it would be shit like that, you know, Schindler's List, Saving Private Ryan, you know, they split that shit up. Gone with the Wind, they split that shit up into 2 tapes, you know.
Yeah, I have a lot of, I think it's just like home recorded footage, most of it, because my dad had a thing where he documented everything. You know, he would borrow like the police force's camcorder and he would, you know, tinker around with that. So I think that a lot of it is just like, you know, home footage from us. But, you know, you should have that checked out just to see what is on there and
It'd be
to
fun
prevent
to
more.
like check it out. I got a whole box of shit my grandma recorded off the fucking, you know. It's just I got one of them file boxes just full of that shit, you know.
I have a huge one of those from like family photos that span like a billion years back.
I found one of those.
So
I found one of those old. I'm gonna grab it, but the thrift store has one of those old ass video cassette recorders where like you know the shoulder mounted jobs. You know what I mean? Well, I mean maybe you don't. I don't know, but like they had these and like like but like the first versions of those were like 2 parts. Like you would basically have a strap on your shoulder, and you'd have a VCR. You'd be rolling with like a portable VCR, and you'd have a camera, and it would all be connected together. And like that was like, oh my god, dude! In like 1983, that was some fancy fucking shit, man.
Yeah,
whoa.
What I would like to get. The thing is, getting that here near impossible, especially like in working condition. I'd like to get one of those cameras that does like tintype photography. where you do the fucking whole thing on the silver plate.
Oh god damn, that would be awesome.
There's
I mean,
people
you're
who
talking
do like,
about like legit old school, like you take the fucking lens off and like,
yeah, and then it gets embedded on like a plate, and then you put the plate in acid.
oh man,
Like, there's a woman, I think I'm not sure if she's in Scotland or in Ireland, but it's like a photo studio, and they offer that. Like, holy hell, I
it
want
would
to
be
go just for
kind of
that.
a pain in the ass. But, you know, you could build one of those.
Yeah, but I want an old cursed one just for the
Oh
vibes.
no, I know, man. Back
Yeah,
when they
like
thought back when they thought that shit was stealing your soul. Yeah,
mm,
no, I know exactly what you're talking about, man. Yeah.
that like I said, there's this lady in the UK that she and her husband have like a photo studio, and they do that with like the real deal. I
Yeah.
want to go so bad. I want to go so
That
fucking
shit would
bad.
be that level of like hardcore is even hard to find over here. It's
Mm,
not. I mean, it's doable, but you know what I mean. It's you got to do some looking. You know.
you gotta do a lot of heavy looking, and the thing is here with the shipping and stuff, it would just get screwed over in shipping because it's not that
Yeah.
fragile, but it's delicate. You don't want it tossed around. And also, like I wanted to get one of those thermins, which is the instrument you play without touching it, but I don't think it would survive shipping. I
Rob,
don't
you
think
know,
it.
Rob just got rid of one. He had one. He had one in his
That's
studio.
tragic.
Yeah. He just got
That's
rid of it
tragic.
because, but I mean, and like just because he never used it, it was. But
It's
yeah,
a
like
it's
the
very hard to play.
oh, the
Hmm.
Star Trek theme and shit.
It's
Like
it's
yeah, but
very
yeah,
it's a very difficult instrument to master, but because you're essentially your body plays it. You need to be so perfectly aware of every single micro movement that you do.
but nothing sounds like that though. Like
Exactly.
it's that is legitimately like that. That is the only thing that makes that kind of sound.
And it's the only instrument you play without touching it.
Yeah, I know. Which
It's
is
it's such a cool thing to me.
which is kind of like energy fields and like I mean
Mm,
there's that cool quality to it.
no,
And
I love stuff
it
like
makes
that.
such a unique sound too. Nothing sounds like that. But yeah, he had one. I think he just traded it out for some gear he would actually use. Because we have
Yeah,
this
I
thing
mean,
over here. We have this thing over here called Guitar Center. So
mm,
it's and they don't just sell guitars. It's all musical instruments and shit. And like they're constantly people are constantly trading back. Like
mm,
guitars and things like that.
I need to
Keyboard, old
exchange.
keyboards
I
and shit.
need to exchange the strings on my guitar. Jesus Christ! Like I think the same strings have been inside of it for like 8 years. I need to take them out at least. Like it's ridiculous.
I have two pianos. I can't play either one. Both of them need to be tuned. Which
I
I mean, they
Yeah,
and
piano
they
tuning is
never will be. It's like I'll die and then like somebody will get a hold of it, and then like maybe get it tuned. But like I'm not gonna fuck with it's just here because it's here.
yeah. I can play the guitar, but I haven't for like years. So it's pretty rusty. But no, what else is rusty? The strings.
Yeah, I never I wish I would have I wish I would have paid more attention and like learned to play some instruments back in the day. Now, I mean, I can kind of pick shit out on a keyboard, and like
Mm,
I've got a good ear, but I'm just like, okay, am I really gonna try to like learn to play guitar like now? I don't
why?
think. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, why not? But like, am I really gonna
If it
ever like me? Okay. When
Yeah,
do you
if it
think I'm
strikes
gonna?
your
When
fancy, then
when do
sure,
you,
but
when do you think I'm gonna sit down and like just play it? You know, like I wouldn't do that. You know, I'm like
yeah, but if it ever happens, you can.
I'm like, okay, I'm fucking around with this, but like I could be doing this and I could be doing that and I could be doing this. You know,
Mm,
I should be writing.
no,
You know, that's literally where my brain would go. Like, what are you
yeah,
doing? It's like when I try to
mm,
play video games. It's like, what are you doing?
mm,
What? Why
this
are
is
you
the
wasting
useless
this time?
occupation of my time.
Yeah, I know. Like,
Yeah,
why are
I
you
get
wasting this
that.
time? That
With me,
my brain lets me like read books and watch movies because it's like, oh, you're doing research. Oh,
mm,
excuse me. And
with me,
that's the only way I get away with it. You know, everything else is just like, what are you doing? You're such a fucking
mm,
failure. Why are you wasting your
mm,
time doing this? You know, it's like I'm like, okay,
yeah,
I'm sorry. You know,
I'm sorry for experimenting with
I'll
something
pull
for
my
once. No,
journal out. Yeah, 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 yeah.
with me, it's, because my parents, they were like, you have to do everything. You have to speak several languages. You have to dance. You have to play like at least three sports. You also need to know self-defense. You need musical knowledge. So I played the drums and I played the guitar for like a good decade.
Sure.
But with the guitar for me, it was really, really fun. I really enjoyed it for that time where it lasted. And then suddenly, I just it lost the spark. It lost the ability to produce serotonin. So, I can still play. I have a good ear, like you said. But it just feels like it's a waste of time, a waste of energy because my brain is like,
Yeah.
you should be sketching, you should be painting, you should be
Well,
doing this,
see,
this, and that.
that's my point about it too. It's like if I had put in the time, like when I was younger, and like, okay, all you got, all I've got is time, to like learn shit like that, you know. If I had done it back then, and I would probably have one and occasionally pull it out and fuck around with it, you know.
Mm,
But now it's like a whole like, oh, okay, I got to figure out how this shit works, and like I got to do this, and I got to, you know. And
mm,
I'm just like, just not, it's one of those deals where it's like, I'm not gonna get around to that one this life, you know.
mm.
Maybe the next world, you know. But I should, I know I'm not. So it's kind of a moot point. Because when it comes down to it,
Yeah.
I'm just be like, okay, I'm just gonna sit there and be like, it, and it's a thing that should relax you, like that should be the whole purpose of it. But I'm not gonna.
No,
I know I'm not gonna be relaxed.
definitely.
So yeah. So
That's the thing. Like,
if I'm gonna be doing something and be all stressed out, I should be writing something.
yeah,
So, yeah, it's
that's the
like
same for me. Like, if I'm not immediately gifted at something, I'm not doing it. Nope.
yeah, but I mean that's a fair point, and I feel that too. But I don't think that's really what's going on with us. I think we have our
No, it's not.
things. We have our
No.
things. And you're like, and I'm sure in the same way I'm talking about, I'm sure you're like, I could be in my sketchbook right now. I could be painting. I wanted to try these new colors and see what this does, And like it's gotta feel like you're like kind of wasting time. And
Mm,
like, oh, I should be doing this. I should be finishing this painting or whatever. I'm not trying to put shit on you. That's the kind of shit that pops into my head, And it's like,
no, that's the same for me. And the thing is,
yeah,
if it's something that can elevate my painting or that can improve it, on if I can use it in painting in some sort of way, I'll participate like this. But if
mhm.
it's something that's not directly applicable, then I'm just like, this is a distraction. You do not need this.
I know. Yeah, I mean, I'm the same
That's
way.
how I feel like about a lot of, not just like hobbies but pastimes in general. Like, what do you mean go to the club? I have colors and shapes do
I
for
know,
no
right?
project. My
I've got
mind
shit.
demands it.
I got shit I gotta do. Yeah.
Yeah, like, what do you mean go out and, date or, go running and start a running club and
Yeah, or like
that,
what do you mean like learning how to crochet? Or what, you know what I mean? Or just
you know,
pick a random hobby. What you want me to learn how to play what, tennis? Like why?
that's the thing. Like, as a kid, especially like here, my grandmas both crocheted, they could sew, they did all the type of,
But
handicraft
they
work.
learned that shit when they were girls. When they were,
Yeah, and I can crochet, like I can make you a mean scarf right here, right now. I have all the supplies. I can fucking weave, I can do all of the handy stuff,
sure, of course you can.
Gigi
Yeah.
taught me and stuff, but I just don't see myself drawn to it at all. Like it's nice to be able to, sew back a
Because
button
you'd
when it
rather
pops
be
loose.
making art, right?
Because I'd rather, not just make art, lay down and rest. Like if I'm gonna
Or
waste
anything.
time,
Yeah, okay. I mean, that's fucking valid too. So you're
yeah, it's
rested
just
up so you can make art, when it
yeah,
comes time to make art. Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
it's
I got the same shit going on. Once
that's
you
what
once
also
you lock in on a thing, like when you find your
mm,
thing,
mm,
it's like I think once you lock in and the addiction begins, and you're like,
mm,
this is the thing I'm supposed to be doing artistically. This is what I'm
mm,
creatively. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. I You can't get away from it. I mean, I was like, I tried. I was like, okay, fuck all that shit.
mm.
I'm
No,
gonna watch.
like
I'm gonna watch good fucking movies and read good fucking books and like fuck that shit. And where the fuck
mm,
am I like the last couple of months? I'm like, oh, I gotta start that bullshit again. You just
mm.
you can't. You can't get away from it.
Yeah, like it's an absurd little parallel, but I've bought this stuff to do my eyebrows like months ago. It was just sitting. I had everything. But the thing is,
Right.
I put it off because I only do self-portraits. And I'm like, if I do this again, this will fuck with my facial structure and perception a
Yeah.
lot
Yeah.
because your eyes will seem bigger, your face will seem softer but with a little bit of an edge to it. So now I have to readjust in how I look at my face and how I transfer it to paper or in a painting or whatnot. So it's just the tiniest little things that are such
You
an
have to.
inconvenience to me.
You have to. You literally have to consider that though.
Yeah,
Because that's your subject is you. It would be like it's the same thing if like say you only painted trees, okay,
yeah,
and like
and suddenly there was a new
you
kind of tree.
or you had your favorite fucking tree out in the front yard or whatever, and like you're like, okay, I really need to trim the branches on this tree, but now every time now it's going to change the everything about this tree. If I when I do that, you have to weigh all that shit out.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, even with minute changes, like I start a painting and you're a human being, your weight fluctuates. That's normal.
Yeah.
But I start a painting and then I leave it for like a week or two or three. And then I come back to it. And, the way I paint is I have the painting, I have my little supplies, and I have the mirror. And then I look at it and I'm like, holy shit, did you gain weight? Did you lose weight? Like, did you eat a lot of sodium the night before? Your face is pretty swollen in comparison,
Everything, like Depeche Mode says, everything counts in large amounts. Yeah,
Like, and the thing is, it's not even about looking different. It's reteaching yourself how to see yourself. That's the difficult part.
because
Because
it's not even, yeah, like, right? Because your perception of yourself has changed. So you have to
You
reevaluate like that as it
exactly.
translates to your work.
You need to relearn what to look at
Yeah,
because it's
that's a good point. That's fair.
it's bleached hair, and the thing with the eyebrows is it's such my expressions are hard to read as is because my face is quite particular in that regard. But now where the eyebrows are your biggest social signals and now they're completely eviscerated, it's like makes the expression more unreadable. Therefore, the painting gets a whole new context on its own. So, and
Exactly.
you can't,
Sure.
and also with like color theory, because this isn't white. It's not white in the same way where, the whites of your eyes aren't pure white. Because if you painted them pure white, it would look ridiculous in a painting. It wouldn't hold up. Same way that your teeth aren't as white as, the toilet bowl or the fridge. It's all different shades, different hues, and you need to understand what color scheme to use, especially with underpainting and stuff like that. So, it's just me reevaluating how it's going to look, how I'm going to wing it from now on, if I have all the adequate supplies I need for that, the whole process. And, I can't just make those decisions willy nilly. I mean, I can, let's be real. I can re-dye it. I also bought like actual eyebrow color that's the same as my natural eyebrow color.
Yeah,
So,
just
if it
yeah,
fails,
just throwing it out
it's
there. You still have eyebrows. It's just that, yeah,
they're
they're
just
just
eviscerated.
yeah, they're not
Yeah,
they're not they're not readily they're in stealth mode right now, you know,
yeah,
or
they're
whatever.
gone.
Yeah, yeah,
They're on pause. But and then it's just like, oh yeah, you have the dye, you can reverse it, but that's another, 20 minutes that you'll never get back. So, it's just everything that I do, I have to weigh based on how much it takes away from, the process that I actually enjoy doing. Same way where, I've seen those videos where people like go to the mall or to a store and they want to buy something like a product, an Apple Watch, or, I don't care, a bottle for water or whatever. And they're like calculating how many hours they have to work in order to be able to afford, said item. And
yeah,
that's just how I view
yeah.
everything. Like, oh, yeah, I could, and don't get me wrong, I love going out with my friends. I love doing this, that, and the third. But, I'm like, huh, it especially hits me when I'm already at the location and I'm not having a good time. Because if I'm having a good time, it's wonderful. But if the time is mediocre, I'm like, I could have read 40 pages by now.
Right.
I could have
I
I could
know.
have started two paintings. Oh, I could have, played with the cats and they would be napping right now. Like I'm
That's one of the
waiting.
reasons why, like, I like when we get on stream like this, because
Mm,
time disappears for me.
mm,
Like I have never been in the three of us, you know, when we're having our fun conversations and gone, yeah, I could be doing some other shit right now, you know?
mm,
Like, yeah,
mm,
and I mean, if you start to consistently feel that, I think it's like, okay, I should probably stop doing that because it's, you know, but I don't feel that, you know. Another
mm,
thing with me that, like, you're to stay on what you're talking about. I I I I, I realized the other day that I started a novel probably. Oh shit! I probably started the early parts of what I'm working on now in like 2014.
mm.
So we're what are we talking about? Like 13 years ago or so? I don't know.
Mm.
I can't math right now, but like over a decade ago, you know, and like rereading through it and it's sitting now at like 120,000 words. It's already big. But like going back and reading through it, I'm like, okay, I don't really. My perception of what I'm trying to get across in this chapter has completely changed. Not just once, but a couple of times over the course of, so like to revisit that, like you're talking about, like your whole perception of a lot of shit has changed over
Absolutely.
over when you start getting into like it's a decade, it's over a decade. Your entire perception of shit has. I'm like, oh, I don't even think like that anymore. This is no longer relevant. Or the point I was trying to make here is like, I
could do it better now.
I had a spark of a thing, but now I'm just like, oh, that's not really a thing. Now I understand what the thing is. So like this whole part is like not,
Yeah, I mean, I get that. When I submitted work for the exhibition, for example, the painting that ended up going, I don't think it's my best work. I love it, don't get me wrong, but it's like 4 years old. I have better stuff. I submitted more recent work, and then in the end they picked this one, and it's just, a moment where you realize, you kind of knew what you were doing back in the day. Now it's time to revisit it and refine it. And that's why I think
I can't even tell you, like, I have no perception of like, my brain goes, you've always known her. But I don't remember like when we became like friends online and like started talking. But in that period of time,
it must have been like 2018, 2019.
It was like during COVID, right? Yeah, it's been a while.
It was before COVID. It was before COVID. I think I had just gotten to Sarajevo and started the academy. And that's when I started, posting on Tumblr and calling myself the motherfucker of arts.
Yeah, you were in the academy at the time.
2018, 2019.
Yeah. So, like, that's pushing a decade at this point. I have watched, and your work was amazing to me. Well, like, that's the reason I started talking to you. And plus, I thought it was funny that you called yourself the motherfucker of art. I was like, who is this shit? What did she do? Where is she coming from? Like, I was like, her work is awesome. And like she calls herself the motherfucker of art. I'm like, that's awesome. That's the reason I talked to you in the first place. I have watched your work change and progress and like become like a new thing. Like, and it already started from like an awesome fucking place, where I was just like, oh my God, how does somebody paint like this? And like, you just keep getting better and better and better. So I've watched the progression happen, and like, so I understand where you're coming from and what you're talking about. It's like, that's a good chunk of time creatively where everything about you creatively is it, other than the core, which I'll always argue that, like, you gain your core and then you build off of that,
and then you accommodate around it. Yeah,
exactly.
That's the thing.
But like that's a good stretch to watch somebody creatively like grow, and like and go, oh, I do this now, or I did, oh, I used to do this like this, but now I do this like this. And you're like, well, shit, like when you used to do it like that was awesome, but now this is like double awesome or whatever, it's like,
it's just, I feel like creatively it doesn't matter what art form you do, whether it's writing, directing, painting, sculpting, you're just trying to, like you said, you have your core, you just try to find your authenticity and the most sensible way to accommodate that.
Yeah.
In my opinion. And that's why I always, I paint over my paintings like I'm not emotionally attached to them, but I keep everything documented. I
Sure.
have everything photographed where it makes sense, where it's on paper. I keep it if it's on paper, but if it's like canvas, I don't care. I can repaint it. I can, as
Sure.
long as I have the photos of it, it's fine. But it always makes me think of like that Michael Jackson quote, where if he has like an idea at 3 in the morning, he wakes up and writes it down because he was scared that God will give it to Prince. And that's just
That's
how I
funny.
feel.
I never
You
heard
know
that,
that
but that's funny. Yeah.
but that's how I feel. It's not that, I'm scared that God will give something to Prince or anybody else. I just feel like it's, looking out for future me, because what if I had an awesome fucking idea and an amazing concept and I just forgot about it?
And I'm the
And
opposite of that because I throw nothing away. You know,
yeah, you shouldn't.
I have hard copies of everything. I have file
Mm,
cabinets and file boxes full of that shit. You know, just in case. You
just in
know,
case, yeah.
because
I
because
repaint stuff to
ideas are
rework it.
not. Yeah, like you're talking like ideas. You might have an idea 20 years ago, and like
Mm,
it's not relevant to you then, but
mm,
you might like you might remember that and go, oh well shit, I know what to do with that now. I didn't know what to do with
mm,
it then, but I know
mm,
how to use that now. I know how to like I know the reason why I had that flash that made
mm,
no sense to me like 10,
mm.
15, 20 years ago. Now I
Yeah,
understand it. What my brain was kind
exactly.
of I was like it wasn't relevant then, it is relevant now. And now I'm like, okay, I know what to work this into. You know?
Yeah, now I know how to carry the storyline and do it justice.
Sure.
Same with like the comic book that I started. I'm still, brainstorming stuff, writing stuff down. I will get back to doing the panels eventually. I just need to figure out a way how I want things to be done, because that's the thing. I'm very particular. That's my biggest
And
issue. Like,
that's and there's a and honestly, I mean, well, you know this probably better than I do. All I've done is like read comics, but there is there's a method to all that madness. The panel
mm,
structure, how it's presented, that there's like a whole thing, and like it really does matter how you end up putting it together, you know.
mm,
So
and
I can totally see that.
yeah, and it's not just, even if it wasn't panel structure, even if it was just, a frame by frame storyline that unfolded itself independently of the comic. The character is so complex, and it heavily relies on the judgment of the audience. Nobody would perceive it the same way. That's the whole point. That's
Yeah,
what I'm going
yeah.
for. But she needs to be so refined that she's not obvious in any sense. And that's, what needs to be worked on and reworked and added and adjusted and tweaked, because some things make sense and then they fall apart in other areas. It's just a case by case study, I fear. So, it's
Because
going to
if
be a
you
bit of
and
trial and error.
yeah, with that kind of subtlety, you can't have everything, every other page be like this some huge like action splash panel.
Mm, mm.
Yeah, it's literally like you're storyboarding out like a something
You're
new on like
storyboarding nothing.
yeah. Well,
You
yeah.
That's the thing. You're storyboarding the absence of the absence of action, because the whole time your perception is she's normal, but there's something really fucking off about her.
I
You
keep flashing back to like Stoker.
mm,
You know what I mean? Like that sort of, it's one of those things where you're just like, okay, there's all this like weird imagery
mm,
like going on with it. And like, what is, what am I watching here? Like what is
Exactly.
because there's
Exactly.
so much like at the beginning when like she's in bed and like there's all those fucking shoes and like that semicircle pattern at the end of her bed, and you're like, okay, I know that I get the symbolism in the circle and the, I mean I understand that it's supposed to be throwing me off and pointing
Mm,
me in certain directions, but it was a very nuanced thing, and
mm,
it's also a thing that like I need to get a new copy of that because I only saw it once in the theater, and it's like shit like that,
yeah.
because there was
Yeah,
a
I mean,
point there was a time when like they were making a lot of independent shit like that, and
mm,
where it's like there was no bang, there was no, there's but if you, but every frame, every shot setup, it all means something. And to me that's what we don't do in film anymore. Basically, this is why I bitch all
mm,
the time about like, I got an argument the other day. So they're like, yeah, did you watch this? I was like, I couldn't get into it. It was just too Hulu for me. And like they got pissed off, and they were like, what?
mm.
They're like, what the fuck is that? Like, there's no such thing as like too Hulu. I'm like, oh yeah,
Yeah, there is.
there's definitely something that's like that is actually a thing, and like
Yeah, I mean,
you
it's
guys
in
just
the
don't want to
it's
see it, but like
yeah, it's the
it's
same as
slop.
Netflix
It's slop.
sliding.
Of course, it's
It's the
all
same as
slop.
Netflix sliding. But that's the thing that what I already brought up previously. I feel like why the whole gallery scene, the movie theater scene, productions even, influencer culture, all of that fails because we've lost the art of having nuance.
Yeah, we don't
Now
we
thing
don't
is
understand subtlety anymore.
everything is on the nose, everything is loud and in your face, everything feels like it's a jab aimed at you and you in particular.
Yeah,
There's no subtlety, there's no delicate silver lining, there's no fine line to be walked. It's flapping from one extreme to the other, and I just don't like it. And that's a good judge of character for me when it comes to a person. When I say, I love Only Lovers Left Alive, you know how much I love that movie. And, it's a matter of taste. I will give you
but
that.
yeah, Jim Jarmusch understands that and has his
Yeah,
entire career
yeah,
exactly what we're talking about.
and then you have people who are like, "Oh yeah, I watched it. Nothing happens." What do you mean nothing
Well,
happens?
yeah, what are you talking about?
Like there are so many layers, subtext, subtlety, nuance, history, Easter egg behind. There's so much going on if you just know where to fucking look. But now with the TikTok and Vine attention spans of like 6 seconds or less, like
And
a
that
fucking
started.
goldfish.
You know what? That shit started in movies before it went
Mm,
there. So
mm,
yeah. I mean, there's music videos and like dudes
mm,
like Michael Bay, you know,
yeah.
where where it was just like, you know, that there people still talk about shit like Lawrence of Arabia
Mm,
because like, goddamn, that it's almost overwhelming. The
mm,
the scope of the
mm,
shots. They're actually outside. You know what I mean? And like those goddamn fucking big ass fucking wide angle lenses and shit. Like that, you got lost in that, you know,
Mm,
and like it okay, what it doesn't even really matter like what the like that transported you to another world. And then somebody made the joke the other day that that everything they've seen from that new that Avengers movie looks like
mm,
it was shot in like a closed down Sam's Club or whatever. It's like
mm.
because it was.
Yeah.
I guarantee there's not one shot in that whole goddamn movie where they actually went outside.
Mm.
Like
That's the thing.
what are we doing? What are we doing?
It's not just it's not even just movies anymore. Like, I don't know. Pink Floyd has songs that are over 10 minutes long.
Ah,
Purple Rain by Prince, like the album version, is over 9 minutes. Because people had shit to
I can tell
say.
you, being from that era, like if you got stuck dancing with somebody you didn't want to dance with during Purple Rain, that shit lasted forever. It's because it was just like, because that's all
And
everybody
now a
played.
song gets released and it's 2 minutes 40 seconds and the chorus repeats itself 15 times.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't understand.
And now it's like the thing with music is like such and such song by this and that artist slowed and reverbed or sped up and reverb. Like,
We
that's as creative as we
to
get.
me, and to old and to a lot of old school music guys who are older than me that were there back in like the day, like it's a situation where um like like they there was a whole if you release an album, okay, odds are the album was plotted out like Floyd or somebody you're talking about. You know what I mean? Like from start to finish. It what you weren't like buying Pink Floyd and going, I bought it for this for money. You know what I mean? No, you bought it because it's Dark Side of the Moon, and you're gonna put your fucking headphones on and
And listen,
probably be high and like listen to it from like start to finish, and like it's gonna take you on this fucking hours long journey or what, you know what I mean? And like
because it told a story from start to
start to
finish, and
finish, yeah. And we
and
don't
and
do
you
that.
could listen to stuff out of context. The song will still hold up, but the transitions that they did, and I'm not saying that Pink Floyd is the greatest band, or that Only Lovers Left Alive is the best movie that was ever produced, but I miss the craftsmanship. And not just sucking Jim Jarmusch's dick here, but he hired some really really good costume designers. He hired a good set designer. That fucking place where it took it's a hotel called the Whitney. It's in Detroit. I had a friend go out and take pictures of it for me.
Yeah.
you know it was such a good collaboration of artists and craftsmen and people who really really knew what they are doing and coming together to hone their respective crafts and produce something that was worthwhile. And now
We
everything feels like a cheap afterthought
we don't sit in things anymore. And
because they're not
we
meant to sit in.
no, but I mean like we in the yeah, like of course. And but like we won't allow it. Like we won't sit and like go, okay, this scene is like, 6, 8, 10 minutes long, and like it's wide, it's all like this like widescreen, and like we won't allow ourselves to like sit in that to the extent that like it transports you and
Mm,
speaks to you on like dialogue and all. None of that shit matters. We won't let the visuals take us to that place because we've retrained ourselves to quick, 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 quick.
Mm,
What David Lean would do in 20 minutes. Like Michael Bay's got like 147 fucking shots in there. It's just like
mm.
you know like
Yeah, I
because
mean,
we counted that shit one time in film school. It was just be like you're holding the glass like this, and then like the 2 seconds later, we got to switch to another shot where you're like, you got it like this, and then you got to, it's just like it's unnecessary. It's fast, 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 and it's like move, 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 and we've lost old school editing, which we've lost Hegelian logic and all the shit that like Sergei Eisenstein like came up with back in the day where where you're like where you're like where it's like the guy literally created film editing because it's like, okay, this shot and then this shot and then like the two of them together forms a larger narrative, and then that larger narrative becomes like this shot and then the next shot, and you're visually building on a story, and like our brains like that, but like we don't do that anymore.
I mean, Russian Ark. Is there a story?
Amazing, and that whole thing is one shot.
There isn't. The thing is, if you put a gun to my head right now and told me what is the storyline of Russian Ark, I wouldn't be able to tell you clearly. I know it's a discussion between, you as yourself, but you're
Yeah,
also another guy and a poet. And you're going through history of the Winter Palace. There's cameos from the Romanov family. There's this, there's that. But you're engaged. You're present. You feel it. Whereas though, when I see, for example, I don't know, a Marvel movie, I feel like the movie itself implies that I'm an idiot and that it feels the need to over-explain everything to me quickly, quickly, quickly. Like I don't like it.
it's not doing that because you're an idiot.
Yeah, I
it's
get it.
it
I get that also.
it's not doing that because I'm an idiot. It's not doing that for half the audience who aren't idiots. It's
For
doing
real.
it for everybody else who are actual idiots.
No, I mean it's ridiculous. The other day
And
when I
that's
was
not
picking
even
up
fair.
books,
It's not even fair to call like all those people idiots. It's it they've been their brains have been retrained
mm,
where they and nobody has any, they don't know, nobody's teaching them the history of cinema and where it all started and like how it all actually works. You know what I mean? Like they just see like they're basically getting like the slump.
yeah, but that's the thing.
Yeah.
I feel like now we just normalize lack of depth
Yeah.
because a lot of the time, not just in terms of cinema, but in terms of everything. People will be like, "Oh, it's not that deep. It's not that deep." Not if you're shallow. I'm not saying that everything needs to be deep and not everything is a science. But if I'm passionate about art and the topic is art, yes, it is that deep.
Have you ever
If the
considered
top,
though like what they call what they're pumping out creatively now? They just
slop.
generally call it all content.
Yeah,
That to me, that
because
tells you everything you need to know right there. It, it's
yeah,
it's
it's like
it's not
cheese
film.
versus
It's not,
pasteurized cheese
yeah. It's
product
not painting. It's not dance. It's exactly. It's not music. It's not cinema. It's fucking
content.
okay.
Like
I
you
need
have ice
I need
cream.
so many hours to throw on the fucking streamy thing. So here we go.
It's literally, ice cream versus frozen milk treat.
Yeah,
It's
it's the whole fake
ridiculous,
ice.
but also
It's the fake ice cream thing, you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
And the other day when I was picking up books, there was a elderly lady with her daughter or whoever it was, and I'm trying to shuffle through, see what I want, see what I don't want, and the girl picks up the Count of Monte Cristo, which is a brick of a book. Like, I'll
Which
give you
is
that. It's
not content. Yeah, right.
and she's like, is it ever that deep? That mentality is preventing you from reading a book that is pretty good.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
said, I'm not saying it's the best book in the universe. Some may like it, some may dislike it. There's arguably fantastic movies that I find a bit overused, that I don't find to be a marvel of, but that's okay. I'm not meant to. It's not for me, but I can still appreciate some aspects of it. But it's like, how do you have so much to say? Yeah, some people have a lot to say.
Yeah. Just like
Absolutely.
I'll just straight up own up. Like I've been trying to read, like I've and like again, I have this thing in my brain that's like, you could be writing right now. I've been trying to read like Don Quixote, which is huge,
Mm,
for 3 years now. You know what I mean? And like, and I feel like it's important for me to eventually finish this book. And it's not that
mm,
it's boring, or it's not that I'm not into it. It's
mm,
just like, even I struggle with like, oh my God, there's not that like, oh, it's so long, I don't want to read it. It's like, there's so much going on here. This is so dense. It's like, I have to, and you have to, I kind of have to go like, because I'm gonna think about it a lot. I have to.
mm.
I'm gonna. I'm like, this is gonna
It's a
be a
lot to
lot for me to
process.
process. Yeah, you know.
That's why I love, Dostoevsky. Two people will have an interaction that it's literally one sentence, and now the poor bastard is in love and doomed for the next 400 pages.
Right? Yeah.
There's
It's
not
just like, what?
that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's what I it's such a slow progression. And people are like, "Oh my God, it's the descriptions again." For me, those descriptions fit and are necessary to let me. Those descriptions are literally background noise for me to, perceive what's going on emotionally with the characters.
Yeah.
And I, that's the thing. Now you don't have space to think. In movies and paintings, there's everything is
No.
over-explained, everything
No.
is oversimplified, everything is catered to everybody. And inclusivity is wonderful, it's important, it is required. If you want a rich story, especially one that blends a lot of cultures and customs, it's required, it's beyond necessary. But that's the thing. Now everybody's trying to play it safe, so to make something that's one size fits all. That's not inclusivity. That's stupidity. You cannot accommodate every single person in a room, whether it's 5 people, whether it's 100 people with the same thing.
Why would you
Think of
want?
food.
But I mean, like, why? And then why would you even want to? It's
It,
it does. You can't approach art like that. It's like, this is going to resonate with people, and like
mm,
it none of that matters, or it's not. And it's not. Once you send it out into the universe,
mm,
it doesn't belong to you anymore for all practical purposes. You're
that's the
either
thing.
gonna
For
you're either gonna
example,
you're gonna, and it doesn't matter who you are, or where you're from, or like what your experience is, or what your age is, or like or gender, or what
mm,
race are you. None of that shit matters. You're either gonna connect with it, or you're not gonna connect with it,
exactly.
because
And
it's
that's
all
the thing, for
subjective. Yeah.
example, when Lynch made Twin Peaks, I don't think he considered the fact that Twin Peaks will have a huge takeoff in the Balkans because Twin Peaks reflected the political climate and the whole chaos of what was historically going on here. Like,
Yeah.
I know so many people, they don't know shit about David Lynch. They don't know anything about it. But you mention Twin Peaks, and suddenly a grandma who has never watched anything besides telenovelas is like, oh my god, I remember everything. I love that show. They don't know the names of the characters anymore. They do not know the actors or anything. They just know, oh yeah, Twin Peaks.
And
That's the thing.
that was one of those things though, Anna Maria, that like nobody was ready for that.
Mm,
Like that was like nobody's ever done this before. Like, what is this thing? How is this on primetime television on like ABC or whatever it was on? You know, like
mm,
nobody was ready. Nobody was prepared. I don't even think that like the network people had any idea like of like what kind of fucking like what they were unleashing out into the world. I'm not even sure
mm,
Lynch did. You know, it's one of those things that it just like I mean, that's all everybody talked about. Like, who killed Lord Palmer? And like, you know, and it was just like for years, you know, to the, I mean, it was a level of insanity that I'm not sure I had yet witnessed in my life. I knew what I knew everybody like got all crazy about Elvis, and like my old man was, you know, all into Beatlemania and all that shit. So I knew that that sort of shit could like take over the zeitgeist, you know?
mm.
But like when Twin Peaks suddenly became a thing, it was insane. And like this was, you got to keep in mind too, this was in the early 90s when we discovered all
Mm,
this. Because I think it went off the air in like, I think 90, 91, something like that, you know? Like it only ran, you know, on network for like 2 seasons. But like I was in college and like there was no internet for all practical purposes yet. Okay. That wasn't a deal. That wasn't a thing, you know? So we were literally having to get on like these like weird ass like message boards and talk to like somebody who has a friend at like this other university, like 3 states over, you know, who like may have recorded it all off of television, like when it aired, and like can make
yeah,
you
that's a
copies of
strong.
it. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it was like that wasn't a thing. But like everybody was obsessed. I was like, I don't care how I get this. I have to have all of it. You know, like yeah, you know, and like okay, this girl can get you this tape, and like this dude over here in California can get you like these 3 episodes, and like these little networks form of like, you know, everybody trading like videotapes and shit back and forth. Because like that was our option. Because once it was off TV, it was off TV. And it wasn't until years later, I think which I still have them up there from when I bought them originally. But like when I got the whole series, I want to say it was the year I bought them for myself because I was about to graduate from college, which was like probably 90s, you know, 95, 96. You know what I mean? It like, so it took like 7, 8 years for them to even like be available, like where you could go get them, you know, go buy them. But like we done all these weird like trading networks and shit. Just
Mm,
you know, it was a different time and a different sort of obsession because things
yeah, but
weren't so
also,
readily available, and like when something was like you're talking about, when something was that level of like, oh my god, this is amazing, you know, it's like people started figuring out the weirdest fucking ways to like not only to get it for yourself, but like to get it to other people, you know?
yeah,
It was
but that's also the thing.
nuts.
back in the day, things had to, stand a certain test of time for them to,
Yeah,
remain relevant, to have a certain level of quality. Now, there was this huge hype. I remember they tried to force that hype with the release of Barbie and Oppenheimer, and there was this whole thing with
Barbenheimer. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, and now not that much time has passed. I don't hear anybody talking about either of those movies
They're
the same way
desperately
they
trying
talked
to.
about,
Supposedly, they're desperately trying to get everybody back on board to make a Barbie sequel right now. But like, yeah, but
but that's the thing, like the closest to it, you know what it was like when The Sopranos came out, or Taxi Driver, or The
we lost
Godfather
our
and stuff.
goddamn minds. Star Wars. I was 6 years
Star
old.
Wars. The closest I remember to it was like Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
That something had a
those were
chokehold.
huge. Yeah, those were huge.
But
Both of those
now
things.
everything.
Breaking Bad was a slow build, but like that first season of Game of Thrones, everybody was like
Mm,
a couple episodes in, everybody was on board, and obsessed.
mm,
For and another a funny thing about Game of Thrones too is like I've never seen anything have so much relevance and then it immediately vanish.
yeah, because they
Like,
fucked it up.
yeah, because they fucked it up. Like, nobody talked about anything. Everybody was obsessed for a decade. And then, like, they're like, oh my God. And then that last season came out. They're like, oh my God, really? This is it?
But
And
that's
like,
sort of what
and
happened, not just with
nobody
Game of
gave a
Thrones.
fuck. Nobody gave a fuck after that. Now I know
Yeah.
there's other Game of Thrones shows on now, you know what I mean, which are okay, whatever. But they'll never capture that level of like hype you're talking about from
Mm,
that original series, the first couple of seasons.
that's the thing, when Stranger Things came out, the hype was huge, but then it gradually, died down. Sherlock, the first couple of seasons, immaculate. The hype was there, but then they bring back Moriarty as hallucinations. Then suddenly Sherlock has a sister. The final was
Yeah,
disappointing. Same
yeah.
with Doctor Who. Like, you cannot revive Doctor Who anymore, which is ridiculous
Doctor
considering.
Who, for all practical purposes, is a dead property now. A
Yeah,
thing that's run since like what, the early '60s, dead.
mm,
It's just gone.
completely,
Yeah, they
completely.
killed it. Star Wars, which is a thing that like people my age were obsessed, like our entire life. Now finally all the people, half the people my age. Let's put it that way. It's been such garbage since like Disney took it over that we're just like, yeah, I'm out. I don't care, you know. And if you would have told me fucking even 10 years ago, yeah, you're not going to give a shit about Star Wars in like about a decade, I've been like, you're crazy, dude. I'm like, Star Wars till I fucking die, you know? Because I mean, there was nothing like that. Like 6 years old, can you imagine 6 year old me just going like, the fuck? What is this? You know, I mean, it's one of those deals like you had to be there because I
Mm,
me and all my little dopey friends had never seen anything like it. And then our parents
mm.
had never seen anything like, like everyone was just like, oh my God, what is this? And then they just murdered it. It's just dead, you know?
The last, also one of the times I remember like this collective delusion was like with Twilight. But the thing with Twilight is everybody sort of knew it was objectively bad and problematic. And Harry Potter, but that's a
Yeah.
child demographic. The same way that, Twilight is like catered towards teenagers while everything else is, more targeted towards an adult
If
audience.
I'd have been like 10 years younger, I would have been really into fucking Harry Potter. You know, I mean,
Mm,
but like I'd already aged out of that. You know,
mm,
I was like, all right, I already got my guy. You know, my guy's name is Luke
yeah.
Skywalker, and he's a Jedi. He's not a wizard. He's a fucking Jedi. And, you know, and I mean, so I mean, I already had my hero myth. You know, to take it back to Campbell. You know, and so,
Mm,
but like if you know, if I'd have been a little younger, like I would have been on the Harry Potter train just like everybody else, you know. But by the time it got to me, I was just like, yeah, okay, these movies are fun. I get it. I understand. You know,
mm.
this is cool. I see why this is popular. It's you know, I didn't have anything against it. Twilight, on the other hand, I never understood that. I was just like, I go, really? This is y'all are going crazy over this? But I was, you know, but that was a point where I was even older, you know, from the Harry
Yeah,
Potter shit.
I was like the target demographic for Twilight, but I
Yeah,
couldn't.
that makes sense.
I
That would have hit about
I
that time for you.
that's what I didn't have that relation to it.
Yeah.
I liked I was the weird person. I was like, yeah, I don't like the popular stuff anyways. I'll watch it like in 5 years when the hype dies down and I can get the
That was
movies
me
for
for a
cheap.
long time too. I was one of those assholes in like I was one of those assholes in like high schoolers like I don't watch TV. And like I really didn't watch it. You know, I was like, I don't know what the fuck that is. You know, I'm reading Kurt Vonnegut, listening to fucking jazz, bro. You know, it's like, you know, I was that
Yeah, and
guy.
it was never about Twilight. It was just about me being, standoffish at anything new that disrupted my routine. But like now everything feels like really, really temporary. Everything feels like an afterthought. Everything
Nothing
lacks
has staying.
substance.
That's nothing has staying power.
Mm,
Nothing.
nothing survives the
Nothing.
test of time. And that's the
Nothing.
thing. Bohemian Rhapsody was one of it's not the first, documentary of that nature, but it's one of the earlier ones where, the cast was really, really good. They had a huge budget. They could do something like that. And then it
Yeah.
took off.
Sure.
And then
Sure.
suddenly they are making like Rocket Man, which is the biopic about Elton John. And then they acquired the rights to produce that David Bowie documentary. And thank God they pulled the plug on it. So it's been put on hold. And then the Michael
They just
Jackson thing.
yeah, they just
So,
did Michael. They've been talking about doing a Jimi Hendrix thing for years. They did that Elvis thing, you know, which
mm,
you know, Elvis is
they
like
did two of them.
way Elvis is way out of my wheelhouse. You know, that's like my grandma was obsessed with Elvis, you know? I mean it's that kind of a deal, you know. And then my old man
Yeah,
was like the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, Hendrix, you know, and like, you know, that was his shit.
yeah, I really, really am sick of the whole documentary thing where there are so many really, really good ones to already be watched. Like, deliver something new and with substance, and then maybe we'll have some luck with
No,
it.
I think we're at a point now though where like I think a lot of that is I mean, I can't believe they're making those Beatle movies.
Are they?
No, they are like, yeah, and supposedly there's four of them, about one about each one. It's like big people like Joseph Quinn and like you know, like it's you know, well, you know, all the usual suspects now. And I was just like, I go, who? It's gonna be it's gonna reach a point in the next like 5-10 years where like nobody's gonna even like people are gonna be like, what? You know, like who are the Beals? You know, I mean, I just know
The
that's
who?
coming, and you know, I mean, goddamn, you know,
That's inevitable.
1962 or whatever was a long fuck time ago at this point. You know,
Mm,
yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
you know,
I grew up listening to that shit though, like it was like brand new though, because like that's all my old man listened to. You know?
same,
Yeah,
same. My
yeah.
mom was obsessed with the Beatles,
Oh, for sure.
but you know, that's sort of the thing. Some things have a shelf life and stay relevant because they're really well put together, really well thought out, or they just, you know, the thing is, it doesn't even have to be that. You know, that fucking The Room by Tommy Wiseau, it's so bad that it's good. It became a cult classic on its own. Sometimes, you know, you
I don't
just
think
need
I
to be
know that one.
lucky.
Yeah, I don't think I know that one.
It's such a bad movie, you know it for sure. They made like a documentary with the Franco brothers who reenacted as the main guy who's like some obscure freak. They don't know much about him, but The Room is a cult classic by now just because of how bad it is. So, you know, you also
I'll
can.
have to look at. I never was big on either one of the Franco brothers, so you know.
No,
Um,
that's like a
yeah.
documentary that's been re-released about the room. I'll send you a link later.
Okay, I'll have to find it or whatever. Yeah, I'll watch it. I mean, I'll watch it just to see what the fuck it is.
It's such a bad movie that it's good. That's all you
Yeah,
need to know.
that does happen. But yeah,
Oh God, it's 4 in the morning.
do you know that? So we already did a stream, and now we're like over 2 hours into this stream. So yeah, it's time to fucking shut this shit down. As always,
I'll send you the link for The Room.
the style, you nailed it. You did it. You know,
Thank
good
you.
times, good times. Uh, Saturday night streams are always fun.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, it's time for us to break this up. I have to go watch some Landman or some bullshit. So yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, I'll send you the link for The Room.
Yeah. All right, right on. All right, have a good night. Get some sleep.
Bye.
Bye.